best jury duty, to do the most amount of good with what resources we have been endowed with. Stewart's over. And I would like to bring up one thing that I was, just bouncing around in the old memory palace, and it is the presumption of innocence. Our founding fathers knew deep down and forgive me, collectively, that you should be innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. And this is evident in the Fifth Amendment and I believe the 14th Amendment, where you have the right to life, liberty, and property, and that can't be deprived from you without due process, thus putting the burden of proof on the prosecution and not the defendant, where it's only too easy to accuse, but to accuse with evidence and enough evidence that a jury trial convicts beyond a shadow of a doubt, that should be a extremely heavy burden of proof. They have to be certain. I believe it was once quoted, "It is better 1,000 guilty men go free than one innocent man be wrongfully convicted." And I believe they understood this, that too much is deprived of you. Too many rights, too many privileges. You are treated in society, in communities and smaller groups and pairs, and home and the news outlets. Slander becomes commonplace. And that's sometimes just with accusations, just being charged with something before the conviction ever happens. The jury by public opinion happens long before the actual trial begins. So I would recommend all of my listeners, if you are able and if you are willing, to look up the Constitution, look up the amendments. If you can't look up all of them, I understand. It is a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of reading. The Constitution is kind of hard to understand, but the Bill of Rights, I would definitely, maybe not start there, but definitely touch that. Just make sure it is seen in your mind's eye. Try to understand it. Try to memorize it if at all possible. Stack the odds in your favor to understand what rights and privileges people have died to protect and to preserve for not only our generation, but our children and our children's children, and the inverse, our parents and our parents' parents. So the Bill of Rights, definitely touch up on that. Try to memorize it. Try to use whatever memory palace or a PEG method, where you put those ideas with very sticky adjectives and verbs, and try to connect it, storyline, go through it, recite it repeatedly if you have to, but definitely touch on that Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and other founding documents of our culture and of our country. Obviously, I'm talking about American. Everyone else is welcome, but I suggest everyone should look at those and try to understand what they mean. The presumption of innocence, it should not have to be proven that you are innocent. That is difficult, because it is too easy to cast aspersions and give false allegations and weaponize fake witnesses in some cases. And it's, witnesses look the same. They wear the same clothes, whether they're telling the truth and they're an honest person, or whether they are devious, deceitful, and nefarious, evil or wicked. Same with good cops. Good cops, it's hard to tell good cops from bad cops before it's too late. They all wear the same uniform. They all wear that badge. And it's hard to tell, but presumption of innocence and a jury trial helps stack the odds in the right ballpark. So that's all I have for today in regards to this video. Thanks for attending.